Yo, yo, yo. What it is, what it do, what it look like. It's your boy JB about to wake your game up. Wake it up, wake it up, wake it on up. What's up, gang? With some gang? Everything else looks strange. And we don't do the lame, so get up and use your brain, then wake up and do your thing. Top of it, man. We about to get into it. Think this is a good conversation that be had. Before it's, we get into the content, man, y'all go ahead and press on that button, man. Like, comment, subscribe, all the stuffuses. We about to get into it. And I think this is, good talk, very learning. If you didn't know, Bobby Ye gets into it with Zod, and they going back and forth, and we getting a lot of, some truths and a lot of hate towards too, which I think, the essays and the brothers should probably be close and be cool. But, we not cool with each other like that, and hell, they not either. So it might not ever be. But let's talk about it. We're going to get to the facts, and I'm going to be, all across the board, clear with it, you know what I'm saying? No side. I'm like, oh, he gonna go around with the brother, and but no, they both had some good, good things that was coming from, and they both kept it real, you know what I'm saying, to an extent. But we're gonna just start with the thing is about the black Southsiders. And hey, they Southsiders. They're not black, you know what I'm saying? But as far as other people, we gonna look at them as traders, you know what I'm saying? They switched it up, man. They changed up. They they race traders. But it's not just us thinking that, and this goes, when you see the Hispanics banging the Bloods of the Crips or the white boys, they also get that, that trader, you know what I'm saying? Well, you don't like yourself. Why would you do that? We all get that. It's not just us. Just like the rapper dude, Tommy Gunn. I thought he was Mexican. Couldn't tell me he was black. He looked like Mexican to me. And it's certain ones. And even like when I was in the pen, I seen one. It was like 3 black Southsiders I seen, my terms. And one of them was like, 6'2", a little size, regular, like he walked like a brother, all that. But then the other 2, they walk like Mexican, had, what you would call it, they say Mexican bodies, bald head, talked and knew the Spanish and all that. And you couldn't tell them they wasn't that, you feel me? So I don't think that's the problem, but, you're gonna look at the traders, you might not feel good about yourself. We're gonna think that off top, the average person. Like, man, would you hate yourself, would you? Because, when it comes to them certain gangs, they really, well, no one likes the blacks, not even the blacks. Let's keep it real. We see that on this internet. We see all the brothers, we tired of you blacks, and trying to, switch sides, tap dance, all the little funny bunny stuff. But what Zod said, I think, I don't know if the Southsiders or the Hispanics can use, but the brothers definitely should use, which, that's no secret that y'all can't get along. Y'all always tripping on each other, doing each other wrong. And if he could pick a side, he says that they got more structure, they more loyal, they riders. He feel that was the best pick. Now, if his people was from 2 P's and a B, and he could have chose that, maybe he chose the Hispanic gang. But I ain't finna get into all that. But just say you could choose. Most people can't. I have a nephew. The dad's black, mom's Hispanic. He don't bang, but he couldn't run nothing but black because he's black. Except he got some nice straight long hair, braided, but he's black. You know what I'm saying? So he gonna be looked at like that. Anyway, what I was saying, I kind of got it. If you could choose a side and you think, man, these dudes are scandalous, they might be scandalous to me and don't like me because of the color of my skin, but I think they more solid and more loyal and won't do me dirty as the fools that look like me. And it's a shame, but that's how it is sometimes. Do I respect it? Nah, I couldn't. I don't respect none of that from none of the other races that go into gangs that's from Mexican, black, or white and be the opposite color. To me, it's just whatever. But see, that's their point. They gotta make you respect it because they gotta go harder. Period. The homies gonna see you go harder, and the enemy go, boy, they gonna dislike you more. You know what I'm saying? So most of the time they gonna have to be active. You feel me? But it was a lot of truth to that, man. But as a black man, I'm thinking, yeah, he kind of got a point. Now, some of the stereotypes and this happened and all y'all do this and do that, and maybe on both sides is not 100% correct, but this is things that we think when we hear, you know, Mexicans, tacos and do and all living on how, you know, the little stuff, and then when you hear the brother fried chicken and they can't stand each other and they backdoor quick and no loyalty and blah blah blah, and some of these things is very much true, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, I'm not picking outside, but I think it was a good learning tool that where, you know, we can learn, you know what I'm saying? A good conversation to have. Black Southsiders, I don't see nothing wrong with it to the T, because they gonna be who they are. That's them. They ain't got nothing to do with me. I could care less, and it don't make me have a hate towards it. Made me have a damn, man, it's like, you know. Now, if you mix, probably is different, you know what I'm saying? Even if you looked at as black, it is what it is. But if you just a brother and you know, they say, oh, well, that's where that area they was from, and they grew up with, to an extent. But, you know, I don't know. It just looked at like, man, what happened? Because they really teach. And it's not all of them. I got some, you know, some solid homies and met some homies that was really official. But as an organization, as a group, you know, they ain't too fond of us. You feel me? They don't like your style, even though you would wear it, talk it. You know what I'm saying? Even like the ones my age and older, they kind of mad at they people too. Like, what's up with all this? Y'all talking nigga, want to black talk black? You mayate fool? You know, and Zod is still on that fool homie, and you know, like the older school, the Chicanos, the real ones. It's different now, man, and it's you know, that's why when you get older, sometimes it's better to step out the way, get out the game, do you, raise your family, do right, because shit get confusing, it change, and you know, it stay the same for the most part, but some things that change is just like, oh, no, we never, you know, and that's the confusion and the problem between the older heads and the youngsters, because it's still the same kind of, but we don't see the eye to eye, because some things like, well, I would never, you know, we don't never did it like that and do it like this, so it's a new time, but we should have more, you know, be cool, you know what I'm saying? And I'm cool with them, though. Now, I ain't had a problem, you know, and the thing, I said, shit, I have more problem with black people. You know, yeah, I think I jumped by them a couple times, but the one that got me was the niggas that got me. I think I told the story, the essays, gave me a ride to the bus stop, and I ended up getting done up, getting backdoored by the relative and all that, you feel me? So, you know, it is what it is, but as far as all that black power and we saw this and that, everybody believe we just running our mouth because, you know, we talk like that, but then we'll bleed a nigga, you feel me, on this internet in real life. And it's just, I think everybody been brainwashed to think that, even the folks, like, man, you niggas ain't shit. Oh man, there goes the neighborhood. Oh, now it's 5 of them at the store. You know, just everybody approaches that situation with the same thing. Like, niggas better not play with me, or feeling like, oh, they violent, they gonna rob, they gonna do something. And it's even to the point to our own people. That's why you see these people on the internet, when these situations where the white people want to talk on tough on the internet and how I be tough, and tell how they really feel because of certain situation that that we seeing on the internet, and you know that's getting the light. We see a lot of black folks backpedaling, and I'm not really like them, trying to stay out the way, and I hate the ghetto, and I hate you ninjas, and talk, you know, I'm educated, I'm proper, and, you know, put off that scent like, bro, you still, you know, is a nigga to everyone that sees you. You know, but their point is, I'm gonna prove that I'm really not like them. I'm a good guy. I'm not with the violence or the negativity. I don't drink 40 ounces, and I don't slap my hoes, you know, and all that shit. And it's quite embarrassing. So that's why I see Bobby Ye, you know, go hard. And some people, like he said, well, you cousin and cripping and all that. Against your people, really. How you gonna sit here and tell me I should be with you and mess and whatever, but y'all doing this and y'all taking each other out of the fast rate, which they do the same thing. It's just it just seems more like it's more loyalty there, though, even with the people that don't play. And then I could see a Mexican, if he could choose, but usually you got to be from somewhere. So I don't know if you could choose, but then be like, I don't want that program, man. They make you go you got a month home, then they tell you go handle some business. You got to go handle some business, or that, they pushing the line. They're a little bit more stricter. The bros kind of just chilling and, bullshitting. And they ready when they have to be, or are they? You feel me? It depends who walking their door. You feel me? So I can see it different, but like the Woods, and back then, I wasn't fucking with the Crips at all, really. Had a couple people in the pen I got cool with, but it was a white boy named Wes Wood from Country Boy Crips. I think it's in Bakersfield. Tall, and the Woods was on it. Like, hey, what are you doing? He had the ponytail, he tall. You feel me? And that was my boy. And I said, damn. And I thought about it. I got older, like, well, I liked it that one. So he didn't say cuz as much as it was that, that extra. But he was solid. He was a rider. But I was like, man, was it because he was white? And I'm just like, oh, he riding with us. Yeah, we got a white boy. Y'all niggas, we cool. And we became one of the homies I used to work out and mess with. You know what I'm saying? Him and SL, Sweetly Don. And we used to really fuck with the white boy. But the other ones, we, probably, just been thought like that. Just brainwashed to think like, we'll show my love to the other people than our own. Getting back on subject, though, is, the Woods was hot. They want to get him, and they want to see what the temperature was like. We wasn't having him. He's a gang member. So he with us. What's up? And, that, because they usually in California, where I've been, they ain't really push too many issues or be wanting to trip. But boy, they ain't like that. They ain't say the Woods coming out. What's up? Yeah. I got both sides of the coin, and I heard both them dudes, and I can't say who was wrong and who was right. But anytime, you a perpetrator or you look like something that they don't really mess with, you're gonna get it from them. But what I heard Zod say is, I feel better getting it from them and prove myself, and because you niggas just y'all trifling, and that's something that the black people gotta think about. That's something that we gotta do better, and I think we have. But it's still a lot of that in the air. You feel me? It just is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But that says a whole lot. And not saying him because he probably more with this man too. But one that could choose that's black and Mexican. Maybe he's not a gang member, but he like, let me go over here, man. They busting down, or I heard, if they haven't been there before, you got to pick a side. And you can see why they would. And then you would see why the others, the other people that's different race, Mexican, white, would come over there not, because of program status. But I just think it's something to think about, build on, and say, how can as a people we come together? I ain't worried about no black Southsiders, because they not black, they Southsiders, and they with them. And that's how I go down the streets is different. But I think we get the pen because people that have been locked up, we get it fucked up. And we be still pen mind, thinking like the penitentiary still. The streets is just a motherfucker out there doing this thing, and he ain't really, he older, he ain't super receptive, all that bullshit. And no disrespect, not bullshit like that, but I'm just saying the bang and not being, being on that type of timing when you got to get money, you got to feed your family, you got others, live life for real, and it wouldn't matter. But in the pen, it's different. And I think, but that doesn't matter, is we need to get on code and be on our tip and be, cool with each other. Not always trying to take each other head off for looking like, that nigga, we gonna pass everybody else that don't like they looking, they might be really plotting. We gonna go to the nigga that, what's up? You know what I'm saying? While I'm at the beach, the nigga pass me, walking up with my son, he say something, you better keep going. But I thought he was talking with some females in front of me. It did I walk and I look, and what this nigga looking at? And then He turn around, I turn around, like, and it's just that type of vibe. Like, you know, it's easy to go there because, you know, I don't know. Like I said, I think we've been brainwashed and we've been all to believe that, you know, for the most part, the black man ain't shit. We even got the black people. I'm not hood. I'm not like them. I'm tired of you ninjas. You're not the face of us. You know, and the black man, I mean, you trying to be something you ain't, because they still don't give a damn. But anyway, that's just my thought. I made this shit way too long. But if y'all have tuned in for the whole time, y'all make sure y'all let me know what's up, man. Appreciate all my new subscribers and everything. And you show me love. Got love for you. Yay, yay. We're going to holler next time.